A post-tension concrete beam 100 mm wide and 300 mm deep is pre-stressed by 3 cables, each having a cross-section area of 50 mm square, located at 100 mm from the soffit of the beam. That is, eccentricity will be equal to 50 mm. Pre-stressing force in each cable will be equal to cross-section area of each cable is 50 mm square into stress in each cable is 1200 Newton per mm square. That will give us force in each cable, that is 60 kilonewtons. Whereas stress in concrete at the level of the steel will be equal to P by A plus PE by I into Y. Here Y and E will be equal, that is equal to 50 mm. So P is 60 into 10 power 3 in newtons by area is 100 mm into 300 mm plus P is 60 into 10 power 3 in newtons into eccentricity is 50 mm into Y is also 50 mm by I is BD cube by 12. So B is 100 into D is 300 cube by 12 will give us stress at the level of steel in one wire, that is 2.7 Newton per mm square. We need to find the loss of stress in the 3 cables due to elastic deformation of concrete. First is while simultaneous tensioning there will be no loss due to elastic deformation of concrete, so no loss. Whereas while successively tensioning, when cable 1 is tensioned, no loss, but when cable 2 is tensioned, there will be a loss in cable 1. Loss in cable 1 is given by alpha into Fc. Alpha is modular ratio, that is 6. So 6 into 2.7, that is equal to 16.2 Newton per mm square. Whereas loss in cable 2 will be 0 when cable 2 is tensioned. Whereas when the third cable is tensioned, that is cable 3 is tensioned, no loss in cable 3, but loss in cable 1 will be equal to alpha into Fc, that is 6 into Fc is 2.7, that is equal to 16.2 Newton per mm square. Whereas loss in cable 2 will be equal to alpha into Fc, that is 6 into 2.7, 16.2 Newton per mm square. So total loss of stress in cable 1 is, while cable 2 is tensioning, there is a loss of 16.2 in cable 1. When cable 3 is tensioning, there is a loss of 16.2. So in cable 1, the total loss is 32 Newton per mm square. Whereas in cable 2, loss is 16.2 Newton per mm square. When cable 3 is tension, loss in cable 3 is 0.